Okay, we're here with Gloria Racy. It's Mother's Day 2024, May 11th, right? Today's May 11th?
May 12th.
May 12th, Mother's Day. So we have a few questions for you on this Mother's Day. Number one, what is your greatest accomplishment as a mother?
Having all good kids. Nobody in prison or anything like that. All like successful kids.
Good. So
I think that's all you can hope for.
So there's a lot of new moms that come into the world, right? Every year, people have children. What would be your advice to a new mother?
Don't let the kids push you. Have rules and follow them. And don't let them take over.
What if the kids want to be your friend?
There is no friends and kids.
No,
No.
we're not friends.
No, you're not friends.
So what? Can you?
I'm a mother. I'm
can
not,
you? Yeah.
I'm not
Can
your
you elaborate on that? What do you mean?
friend.
What does that mean? Not to be the kid's friend.
Well, you don't go out and have the kids dictate to you what to do or not to do. I don't know.
Can you remember? What was your funniest experience with your kids being a mom? Do you have one? Do you remember driving home from the theater one night, the drive-in movies, and you wanted to pick some grapes fresh off the vine? Do you recall that?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
So she wanted to pick grapes fresh off the vine, and so she asked my dad to pull over. And for those who live out in these areas that have vineyards, the dirt is tilled, and so it's really mushy, and you step, like ankle deep in dirt with every step. And so my mom carefully steps out there. She had a large muumuu on, kind of like a large, colorful nightgown, and she's using the front of the nightgown to corral like an instant basket.
The one stem of grapes I took.
Yeah. Oh, she jumped ahead to the end.
And I was all happy.
So she grabs the grapes, and she had like 7-8 good bunches in the front of her muumuu. And then my dad yells, "The farmer's coming." And so she panics and tries to take that first step towards a sprint, right? Kind of like a runner stealing second base, right? That hard first step. And that ground gave in. She fell forward flat on her face onto the grapes that were held in the front of her gown. And what was that, instant wine? Is that what you'd call that? Or
Grape juice.
grape juice. And then she got up and she got to the car covered with dirt. You could just see her eyes and her smiling teeth. And she's like, "I got one." And she had one little bunch of grapes with like 5 grapes on it. The farmer was never coming, by the way. You know that now, right? So
And the one time you took him
The only time I ever did that.
the one time you took him to
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Oh,
Yeah. So she told us, "Hey, if we clean up the house, if you guys clean up the house, we'll take you to McDonald's." Do you remember that?
no, that wasn't the deal.
What was the deal?
The deal is I don't know where we went, but we were broke.
Yeah.
And you guys were yelling that you want to go to McDonald's, you want to go to McDonald's. And I had bought groceries to make hamburgers at home.
Oh, those homemade burgers.
Homemade burgers.
Good burger.
Yeah, nobody
The
can
rainbow
find-
bread.
Yeah. And so,
Sliced bread.
go, who wants to go to McDonald's? I want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to McDonald's. So I go to McDonald's and then pull out. I don't buy anything. He goes, "Hey."
We took a visit to the parking lot.
I brought you to McDonald's. What do you want?
Hey, you true
Didn't buy
to
nothing.
your word, right? You
I did. I didn't say I was going to buy anything.
So, do you recall any specific time where you really had to lay down the hammer and discipline? What would you say was the worst violation? Because I have one for you.
I can't think of it.
Okay, so our older brother Gus, he snuck out of the house. This was a nightly ritual that he would do. So me and Gus shared a room. He was older than I was. He was about 16, and he knew how to drive at that point. So he would sneak out of the house,
Steal my car.
right? Every night he'd sneak out. He'd drive to his girlfriend's house, who lived out in the middle of the country, and then he'd park the car a distance from the house.
To call.
Yeah, he to
Call
call
her.
her.
To let her know he's
coming.
5 minutes away or
Yeah,
something.
and so
So she would open the window.
yeah, so he sneaks out of the house. He goes through his regular routine, and he gets to the payphone and rushes out. Now remember, we don't have the same technology we did back then. He leaves the keys in the ignition with the car running, and he closes the door. And so now,
And it locks.
yeah, the car's locked, and now he's got to call my mom because he can't get in the car and the engine's just running. And so he calls home at about 3 a.m. and my mom answers. Remember, she works the graveyard shift at the Alta Hospital, Danubas. So she's exhausted. She said, "Hello." He's like, "Mom, it's Gus." She goes, "No, Gus is asleep. He's in his room." Gus no here. Right, Jonathan no home. And so she, through a very confusing conversation, figures out that Gus is on the other line talking to her. "Well, wait, you're not in your room?" "No." "Well, where are you at?" Right? "I'm stuck in a payphone."
In Traver somewhere.
And so you drove out there, and by the time you got there, was the gas all used up? Or
Yes.
you had the spare keys with you?
Yes. Now we had to do the old antique stuff. You know how to you go in there.
Oh,
and-
the wire
Yeah,
hanger.
with the wire hanger.
And it worked?
Yeah.
So then, to make matters worse, he doesn't stop sneaking out. And so my mom wanted to teach him a lesson. So one night I'm in bed, and I always used to get nervous because, I would be responsible if anything happened in terms of the window not being open for him. So he would sneak out, then I would close the window, and then he would knock on the window in the morning, and I had to open it. So, I didn't sleep very well because I was, waiting for this guy. And if I slept through it, oh man, I was getting the beating of my life. So he leaves that night, and my regular anxiety kicks in, like, oh man, I got to cover for this guy. And as soon as he steps out and shuts the window, my mom walks in the front door of the bedroom. And I look at her and I'm like, oh. She goes, "No, don't worry. You're fine. This is on him." And she sat there and waited for him like 3 or 4 hours. Right? She just sat up. Well, now I couldn't sleep because I needed to know how this was going to end. So we're both staying up. And about 3 or 4 in the morning, Gus starts knocking. Robert, open the door. Open the window, Robert. And I get up to try to open it, and Mom's like, no, you stay right there. And she kept on going for about 5 minutes. And this guy's cussing me out and calling me every name in the book. And finally, she opens it for him. Now, it's dark, so he doesn't know who's there. The lights are off. And he gets about halfway in the window, and he's like, "I told you, stupid, why didn't you open? Hey!" And she just starts beating on him. He's defenseless because he's stuck halfway in and out. He's just straddling the window and just taking, blow after blow with the belts. Man, he never snuck out after that, huh?
No, he did.
Oh, he did?
He was just clever. He just waited till I go to work.
There you go. Do you remember when we used to break things and then try to patch them up? And then you would come home and barely touch them and they'd fall apart. And we'd go, "What'd you do?" Right? So one time my mom is she had this china set, and for whatever reason she had it right up against the dining room table. So if you tried to sit in the head of the table, you're gonna bang into that china set, and all the dishes and beautiful plates in there would just rattle, right? And you were trying not to knock them down. So she's trying to slide in there and sit down at the head of the table. one night. And of course, eventually we knew it was going to happen. She loses her balance. And she teetered back and forth trying to catch her balance for about good 3 minutes. And we all sat there in our
Just
respective
watching.
seats.
Nobody,
just
all they
wa-
had to do was reach out just like that, just touch me, just stable me. No, they sat there and watched me.
It was
They
the-
just watched me titter till I fell.
It was the greatest 3 minutes of our life. But the best part is that when she fell, she turns and reaches for every existing plate on the china shelf to try to, stop her fall. And she cleared off all 3 shelves of china on the ground. And I was like, Mom, just fall already. Quit fighting it. No, she had to fight it all the way
Fall
down.
already. Instead of just reaching out, to hold me. Fall already. Some good sons.
No, that was great. Yeah, so, but I also remember the times that she was there for me, that, it was like really meant a lot. So I remember I had been playing college soccer for a couple years now, and I was really proud of this fact that I had, played beyond the high school
Scholarship.
level. And so she's busy. So she finally got to show up to one of my games. It's my last game in junior college before I transfer to a 4-year and play there. And so I'm like, Mom, can you make it? Yeah, she shows up. I score a goal in the first half, and it's a real good competitive game, and we're all excited. And at halftime, a huge fight breaks out. Do you remember that? And my mom and my sisters go running on the field looking for me because they think I'm going to, get strangled or beat up. Of course, I wasn't involved in the fight. I wanted no part of it. So I was standing safely by the goal, but I'm watching this show, and it's my mom, my 2 sisters, shoving through and
crowd.
piling through this big crowd of boys fighting, right? Trying to find me. Robert, where is he? Right? And they pick up some poor kid off the ground to check. It's not me. So they let him fall back down. Eventually they found me. But yeah, no, it meant a lot that you showed up for me. I appreciate that. And she, of course, she's always there for the graduations and the wedding, right? Yeah, you're there for everything.
Yeah.
We were there for your graduation.
Yes, we would always make homemade food.
Yeah,
Take it
yeah, you
for
guys,
your
yeah,
college
barbecued, yeah,
in
Menlo College,
Menlo.
that little park on the side there,
Yeah,
huh?
we made a big old cake and we made some barbecue and then rice and beans and stuff.
Yeah,
And I told you, you said, well, I have a few friends coming. It was the whole damn school. I don't know how we fed them all, but we did.
famous last words. There's a few friends coming.
They're like 100 or so. I thought, oh my God. I don't know how we did it. But everybody ate.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody ate.
Mom was always right, good about making sure everybody ate, even if it meant the whole neighborhood
Yeah.
or half of Menlo College.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
those kids that didn't have their parents that came for their graduation because
Yeah.
they're from out of state.
and I remember you used to host the folklorico
Yes.
at our house, and you would instruct that, and you turned the garage into a movie theater.
Yes.
Right, that's I think where I got my innovative spirit to serve communities and stuff came from you. I remember reestablishing Stratford. Right, you had said, "Hey, we got to do something for Stratford," right? And she's been regretting it ever since because she got pulled in, right? So to sum it all up, you did a good job, Mom. We're all alive. Right? We all have 2 hands and 2 feet. So, do you have any parting words for all the children's on this Mother's
Think
Day?
for yourself, but respect your parents. Because everything starts with respect. The minute you lose respect, you've lost your life.
There it is. Aretha Franklin couldn't have said it best herself. RESPECT. Tell 'em what? How's it going? Tell you what it means to me. I messed that up. Oh, that was going to be a good ending, too. Dang. Edit that out. All right. Love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And
You
can't
too.
wait for many more.
Me either.